Hello Duelist, it's Tom Box here, welcome to MST.TV, and it is that time of the year again. It's time to submit your ban list for 2018 January. It could come out around January, could come out later. We just know that it won't come out any sooner than January 2018. That's how Konami works. Last time it was much later than their expected date. But that being said, usually here on MST.TV we take an angle, and the angle I'm taking this time, compared to last time, it is going to be a more of a business standpoint. We want to make a bit more money, give you players a bit more confidence in buying the product, because the last few products they released was a bit of a flop. Like Spirit Warriors, it was a very pretty set, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fun archetypes in there. But the biggest issue in that set is that it was not exactly the most meta relevant. They weren't exactly sided against because they are seen as much slower. Because of that, that is actually impacting their sales, and people don't want to buy their stuff because the current stuff is still too strong. It's similar to when they released Battle of Legends. So that's the angle I'm going to go with, so that it increases the value of previously released products, making them more relevant, and also slowing the game down, because the only way for them to really make the existing product that they release any better is to slow what they have currently down. So with that being said, let's get into our list. So for the only card I see being banned is Spiral Master Plan. And a lot of you guys are like, oh, why hitting Master Plan? She's like a dead draw. Well, here in NA, she's not exactly a dead draw because we have Link Karibo. And if we go Helix into Quick Fix, and then we link off into Link Karibo, we can throw her into the graveyard and then revive Quick Fix, get the red card, revive her, and you're exactly where you were in the combo again, except that Quick Fix could potentially get banished, but you do get to set up a really nasty board because Master Plan and Quick Fix are both easy access at this point. Usually drawing her is a dead draw, it really sucks to draw her, but thanks to Link Karibo, we automatically get that discard outlet through Quick Fix. That's part one. Part two is that she generates way too much card advantage. By summoning her out via double Helix, so you can't stop the Helix summon because you burned all the hand traps because they are all baited out. One card from the body, one card from her search, two cards from hers getting sent to the graveyard, and then Spiral Resort that will search also gets you another card, which is 5 cards by base. You can even get up to 7 if you decide to revive her again, and then get another search with the rescue. And that to me seems a bit too much, especially for comboing. And that almost sounds nastier than Disc Commander, which is why she has to go. I always believe that Spiral players can still adapt even though you lose the Master Plan, as top level Spiral players usually don't get their combo off due to the fact that they have to eat hand traps, and the more skilled players know when to use the hand trap to minimize the board establishment that the other player can do. So hitting Master Plan could shift the playstyle. Perhaps we'll play fully armed, I don't exactly know, but I just know hitting off Master Plan will shift the playstyle of Spiral and take away one of their auto win buttons, because the whole Tri-Gate Wizard board does require a lot of resources. But yeah, Master Plan, that's why I see Master Plan being there. If they don't hit that off, you'll probably see some other Spiral hits already. Alright, now we move on to the limited cards. Please look at this whole list as one giant hit rather than individual hits on single cards, because a lot of the hits are kind of connected. That being said, let's move on to the very first card being limited in my prediction. It is Drone Lockbird. Not for the purpose of stunning decks that gain massive advantage like Spyrals, or Necros, or Dragon Rulers, or Fusion Substitute Zodiacs. Those are the formats that this card is necessary. But this card is actually getting hit and limited for a different reason, which is Trick Stars. Trick Stars being able to rip your hand apart and locking you out thanks to their convenient chaining process of putting your cards back into the deck. That is the main reason why we are doing this. And it's actually just simple math, really. It's not fun having 0 cards in hand. It doesn't promote any interaction, and you just kind of snowball from that point because your opponent doesn't have a single card to their name. That's not fun at all. That's not fun at the locals level. That's not fun at the competitive level. And combos like that, having easy access, isn't exactly what we're going for here. So that's my main reason for putting Drone Lockbird to 1. Although it does have a rippling consequence of making other decks that can just excel at searching a little bit better. But we'll talk about other hits in regards to that. Next card to be hit, Left Arm Offering. You guys might be wondering, it's like, oh, this card has done nothing yet. Again, I'm not trying to promote all the old decks. In fact, I want to keep them down so that other products can go back up. And that's the reason for this prediction, because their last few sets kind of flopped a bit. And perhaps if they are able to pull off a Battle of Legends kind of thing with Pendulum Magicians. They should try to do that with the sets they recently released with Magical Musketeer, Weathery, and perhaps even the new 6am stuff that they could probably promote a bit better. Then we have Trickstar Reincarnation. It's just a really powerful trap that interrupts the game pretty devastatingly, and it also acts as a Monster Reborn. Combine that with Grinder Golem, it's a bit much. I can see this card going away to 1 just because if you combo it well with Licorice and you have multiple copies of this, you can actually rip a whole deck apart with multiple copies of this card. So yeah, and you can probably burn to death too if you're playing a Saki version that's still running Dark Room of Nightmare, which is not in the meta right now, but that is also a part of the reason why anyway. Then we have Wavering Eyes. Again, don't want Pendulum Magicians to shoot to the top because Spirals kind of died down a little. Try to keep everyone at the same level so that the slower decks can also kind of climb up, and if you actually bought Spirit Warriors, perhaps your value will go back higher. Then with Terraforming, too many field spells are just too powerful, and a lot of the people are just using Terraforming basically as a Rhoda, just strictly for consistency, which gives these decks that much more advantage. And I think it's about time to kind of see that come to an end. It's like Rhoda. Rhoda being able to search any warrior was a bit too much. Rhoda's at 1, it only searches a warrior. Whereas nowadays field spells generate multiple effects and they generate multiple types of advantage. If you have Spiral Resort, you protect yourself from targeting and you get a search once per turn, which I think is a little bit worse than Rhoda. And then there's Union Hanger, which you can not only get 1 card, but you get 2 by summoning the second card and then attaching something. Also very powerful. Magical Meltdown, a 1-card engine to get access to your entire Invoked Fusion lineup. That's also very powerful. Terraforming, in my opinion, just has, due to the fact that there's so many field spells that are good, this card should go to 1. Another card going to 1, Scapegoat. With the coming of Skull Deep, the Chain Draco Serpent, I believe this card should go to 1. It is a huge problem if your opponent gets a lot of free advantage from just playing 1 copy of Scapegoat. Sure, you need monsters with different names. Go into Link Spider, go into, I suppose you can go into Link Haribo, leave 1 of the tokens, and then summon out another monster, and now you have 4 monsters to make your Skull Deep, giving you the draw 4, put 3 back, and additional special summon, so you have 2 summons. It kind of acts like a Brilliant Fusion in that regard too, so that to me is a bit too much. And not only that, you get all the access to most of your links through 1 copy of Scapegoat. And Scapegoat has been gaining more and more popularity. It can save you from dying, and the extra tokens that are left over can be used as fuel for the next turn's big play. Yeah, so that's my angle on Scapegoat. It's kind of similar to most token cards are actually getting hit in OCG. Now for stuff coming back to 1, we have Shrid from the Necros. Now remember, during the Necros format, we didn't have the hand traps we have today, and since Drone Lockbird is still kind of a card that a lot of people still main deck, it is still relevant. And we also have Ash Blossom now, which does stun the Necros deck a lot. And don't forget, Necros cannot play the other pre-preparation of rights. So they have 2 prep rights, but don't forget, I'm not putting anything else back, so they're still very limited on their resources. Another card to come back, Shaddoll Construct. This is for the reason of, we know what's in Link Reigns back in OCG, which means you're potentially going to be getting a lot of the old archetypes revamped, including Shaddoll. Shaddoll gets Shaddoll Construct, not El Shaddoll Construct. So if we give back ourselves 1 construct, we can see how that actually goes. It's just more of a promotional tactic for future product. If, of course, we're not getting the Shaddoll stuff, this card is most likely going to still stay banned for the most part. And for a personal choice, I put Solemn Judgment to 1 just because that's just my personal wish list. If this was my Christmas list, I wish Solemn Judgment was back at 3 because it was a very nasty time, and that's just my selfish wish. But honestly, do you think it's actually that bad for Solemn Judgment to be available to us for us to play? I don't think it's too bad with the amount of sheer destruction we have for the back row. Paying half your life could mean that someone could shift their combo in a different direction just to deal 4,000 worth of damage instead. So you could get interrupted, but you can also counter them with a different form of OTK. So, for the first semi-limited card I have is Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. Hence the reason why Left Arm Offering is hit, Wavering Eyes is hit, and Trickstar Reincarnation is also hit. By limiting us of the option to interrupt deck synergy, we should not be able to play as many power cards. Hence the reason why, if you guys have seen the what if we had no hand trap segment, you'll know what would happen. It's complete utter chaos, and too many decks have 2-card win conditions that just takes them all the way, and without Ash Blossom, you can't stop them. And because we're limiting ourselves of our own Ash Blossom Joy Spring down to 2 copies, you're not going to have it as much, but therefore we should not allow people to have those power cards as much either, because the complete chaos scenario could just reoccur all over again, which is why it's at 2. I honestly want to ban this card because hitting deck synergy could be very crucial, but inherently Ash Blossom Joy Spring is a -1. Now next up we have Grinder Golem. Grinder Golem is just too powerful in my opinion due to the fact that it can generate a free Skull Deed in the coming set, but they have product coming out that includes a Grinder Golem, and because of that reason we can't exactly ban off or limit Grinder Golem just yet. They want to make the money, they want to do that. Grinder Golem's probably going to stay at 2. It shouldn't stay at 2 in my opinion, probably not. Probably should go to 1. One Grinder Golem with a full link package can generate 8 links by itself. And going into a Skull Deed is already bad enough due to the fact that Skull Deed will allow you to draw 4 cards, put 3 back, which fixes any sort of dead hand in my opinion. If you draw 4 cards and you can't fix your hand, you have a very crappy deck building skill. That's just my opinion. And not only that, you offer yourself a free special summon from the hand by linking him with 3 monsters. Since you're doing 4, you get the 4-card draw. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this, but putting a Grinder Golem onto the field and then putting it back in your hand gives you that option of just keep going into big monsters. And also that OTK is pretty nasty. Next we have ABC Dragon Buster going to 2. Well, ABC didn't do very much. Why are you hitting ABC? Well, again, don't want things to float. Dealing with 1 ABC is bad enough. Dealing with 3 is utterly crazy. It's very difficult to deal with. That uphill battle, we don't want to deal with a Decode Talker ABC play as much as we want, especially with Ashes kind of not in the way to stun you, although Ogre is probably a better stun, but letting you get to that point is very painful, which is why Terraforming is also hit. Now we have stuff coming back. We have Clifford Scout. Clifford Scout is for Clifford Genius, of course, when we do get it. Of course, a lot of the link variant stuff hasn't been announced yet, but it is likely to come out next year. And if they want to preemptively hit some of these cards off and give us a bit of a release for these cards, I wouldn't mind it so much. Next, we have Insector Dragonfly and Insector Hornet. Yes, they are very annoying in combination because it does spam the board with a ton of cards, and Insectors, they themselves do get a new Link monster as well, which is also part of sales strategy for this card to come back. And finally, we have Gateway to the 6 going to 2. Some of you guys are like, oh my god, Gateway Endless Loop. The difference between Gateway Endless Loop now and Gateway Endless Loop before is now we have Ghost Ogre. We can pop it. And even if they do like a full loop, make the full board, the thing is, their monsters don't exactly have much interaction with what you have, and you have a ton of ways to break the board now. Our options are so much bigger compared to back in the days of Storm of Ragnarok. We don't just have effect veilers now, we have a ton of hand traps, and our trap lineup is right now also much stronger. They try to summon something, oh, you can strike them down, you can, there's lots of things you can do to them, and we can readapt to the 6 stamps. I mean, OCG has 3 of these, and it's still not making a splash. So what does that tell you? And finally, for a card that I believe can go back to 3, Book of Moon. Even at 1 copy, it's seeing no play. But I do believe it is a good card to stun Link plays. It is a very smart card. It is the most balanced card in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion. Because, first of all, you can't link, synchro, or exceed by putting a card face down, so the interruption coming from Book of Moon is very legit. You feel the value, even though you're getting the -1. But you get that tempo feel again. I'm not sure if that's going to be very valid due to the fact that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so fast, but having a card like Book of Moon to kind of stun that is something that I would like to see. And it does help out Shaddoll's a little, I know. But that is my list. What's your opinion regarding my ban list prediction? Is it the correct angle to take? Do you think it should be an overhaul of the complete format? Do you think this list is absolute garbage? These cards don't make any sense. Did some of your cards get hit because of it too? Well, this is just an opinion based on business standpoint that I think for future products this could be the way to go, and especially if they want to promote more column-based interaction with Mech Knights coming out or Jack Knights. But let me know what you guys think of this ban list. Let me know what you guys think should be the ban list. Leave it down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, well, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.